One of the biggest questions that people ask about MoveQuest is this: does the system need constant growth in order to survive? And usually the concern behind this question is, if the ecosystem needs constant growth, new participants, does that not mean that it's a Ponzi? And that's a fair question. Hey, this is Colin, and in this video, I'm going to break this down calmly and clearly. No hype, no emotional defense, just the mechanics. Because once you understand how the MoveQuest ecosystem works, this question becomes much more easier, more simple to answer. Now, before we dig into this much deeper, I want to encourage you that if you want to check this out, you want to follow along, you want to explore this ecosystem in much greater detail, I'm providing the official website link down below in the description of this video so that you can review everything directly. Now let's get started. Let's start off with this point here. Every market needs buyers, of course. Every market in the world needs buyers and sellers. Bitcoin needs buyers, stocks need buyers, gold needs buyers, silver needs buyers, real estate needs buyers. If nobody bought Bitcoin ever again, the price would stop moving. That doesn't make Bitcoin a Ponzi. That's just how markets work. Markets are just simply a place where people exchange value, and the price, it moves according to supply and demand. The same principle applies to any token, asset, or community or commodity. So the real question is not, does it need participants? The real question is, how are the rewards generated? And that's the difference from where legitimate platforms, legitimate protocols and ecosystems and Ponzi schemes become clear. A Ponzi scheme has very specific characteristics. It requires new money coming in order to pay the existing participants, usually with a promised guaranteed return. Key elements usually include guaranteed profits, passive payouts, central control of the funds, rewards coming directly from new deposits, and if new money stops entering the system, the payouts stop and the system collapses. That's the core structure of a Ponzi. But MoveQuest works very differently. Here's how MoveQuest actually works. MoveQuest is based on something called PoPA, the proof of physical activity. So instead of mining tokens with computers like Bitcoin, with MoveQuest, you mine tokens through verified activity, verified physical activity, walking, running, working out, even sleeping. It's all your daily movement. All your data is then verified through an app. All that health data verified through that health connected app on your phone, your mobile device, or whatever it is that you're using to track it with. It's all then submitted to the blockchain. That submission then becomes your contribution. And here's the key point: no activity, no rewards. There are no guaranteed profits, no automatic payouts, no central operator that is controlling the funds. No specific person is in control of paying out any of these rewards to any person. All the rewards, they are generated through the mining model itself, not through new deposits. Another key important part of this system is how the supply is created. In MoveQuest, the daily mining output is all tied to participation. The formula works roughly like this. The daily MQT mine is equal to the ecosystem submissions multiplied by 0.25 plus the hatchery rewards. That means that the amount of tokens that are produced is totally dependent on how much activity the community produces and submits on a daily basis. So if participation increases, then more tokens are mined. But if participation slows down, the token issuance, then decreases. This is important because it controls or prevents the uncontrolled inflation of tokens. The system responds dynamically to the ecosystem's activity rather than issuing a fixed amount of tokens. That's a self-balancing mechanism. So let's talk about what happens if growth stops. Just a hypothetical question here, all right? If the growth were to have stopped, if it all were to stop, say tomorrow, what would happen to this ecosystem? Would it collapse? Well, not necessarily. If fewer people were submitting their activity, then total mining output would slow down, it would decrease. The token issuance, it would tighten. So the supply that would be entering circulation, that would, of course, decrease dramatically. The system naturally reduces the emissions when the participation declines. And that is very, very different from a lot of ecosystems of protocols that just keep on paying out constantly, regardless. And they keep on paying those fixed daily rewards. And in addition to this, the ecosystem also has mechanisms that will also remove tokens from circulation. This is what the hatchery does. See, with MoveQuest, the hatchery system, the hatchery is designed to remove tokens from circulation. The hatchery, this is where users can take MQT tokens, lock them up, and earn the rewards. Now, this is very important because you are earning rewards that is also still tied to your physical activity. There are a few different levels or a few different layers when it comes to the hatchery. The three levels, there is the incubator, and then there is the nest, and then there is the golden hatchery. Each one of these, you lock up your tokens for a defined certain amount of time. And when you are doing this, you are removing those tokens from the circulating supply. For example, in the incubator, you can then lock up tokens for 222 days, removing them from circulation while you still earn rewards with them. In the nest, you can lock up your tokens for a small period of 10 days and earn rewards by locking them up or taking them out of circulation and locking them up there. Then in the golden hatchery, you can lock up your tokens for up to 325 days with 4 different tiers in the golden hatchery. And you will be earning rewards when you do that, as long as you are participating and submitting your daily physical activity as well. These timed lockup systems, they're immensely helpful because number one, they reduce sell pressure, they create token scarcity, and they stabilize the supply. So the ecosystem does not rely solely on new people, new participants coming into this ecosystem in order for all this to work. Really, it relies on long-term participation and the token lockups. So the key difference between MoveQuest and a Ponzi is this. Ponzis require new money coming in to the system in order to pay out the existing participants that are already in the system. A constant flow of new participants coming in with new money. MoveQuest does not. The rewards all come from activity-based mining, smart contract distribution, and participation-based distribution of the tokens. The participation-based emissions or driven emissions. There's no guaranteed payouts, no central operator that's distributing anything or that controls how much the rewards are then distributed, setting the reward amount, and no requirement that new money must be coming in order to pay anybody. The system's all designed to adjust based on the participation of the community, which makes it structurally much, much different than how a Ponzi scheme works. So now if you want to explore this ecosystem in complete detail, read all the documentation, I've provided the official link for the website down below so that you can explore everything all directly, all on your own time. Get the full details. Now, as well, if you found any value at all in this content, you know what to do. You know what I appreciate it if you did? Smash the like button, drop me a comment down below and let me know what your thoughts are. I've got some more videos right about here. This is the MoveQuest playlist. So head on over there, check it out. I'll be there. And yeah, see you later. Bye for now.